We're reviewing Ghostbusters and Roadhouse. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire and Roadhouse, the remake, on Prime now. Go check those out. So we're going to start with Ghostbusters. That's right. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire tells the tale of the Spangler family now in New York, living in the firehouse and busting ghosts because it makes them feel good. They're running all around town in Ecto-1 with their proton packs, causing them havoc, running amok everywhere. And it's just chaos, dogs and cats living together. And, that's about what this is. We'll get into it a little bit more. This is going to be a bit of both of these are going to be a bit of a spoiler-ish review. So if you guys do want to check out on this, we get it. Come back at another time, check it out. We're not going to really try and reveal too much or anything like that, but we do want to get into these a little bit because one I really didn't love and one I really did. So and we'll get to Paul's. So we'll get to Paul's. And I have a lot to say on all of it. So
oh joy.
All right. Let's get started. So Paul, tell me what you thought of Ghostbusters Frozen.
So after the last Ghostbusters, I was extremely excited to hear there was going to be, a sequel to the newer line they were doing. This one fell extremely short for me, unfortunately. I thought it was the coolest part, I guess, was bringing back the original actors that are still alive. The story, they didn't explain enough, so the story just seemed kind of forced to me. The comedy did not land. I think there was one time Paul Rudd said something and it made me chuckle. I didn't think there was enough action scenes. I mean, they open up the whole portal with all the ghosts they've ever caught, and all you see is a fucking tornado above them, flashing color. I needed what happened in New York, in the original ones. Like, you need to see the monsters causing chaos and having fun, and you didn't show any of that shit. It was a disappointment, honestly. I was very sad because they did the last one so right, and it just seemed like they almost didn't care. They just wanted to get another cash grab because Ghostbusters is relevant again, and I think they let us all down as fans of Ghostbusters.
I feel a little bit differently than you do, but you feel passionate, and I respect that passion. I want to validate your passion on that, because I understand it, and I understand why you're upset, because I am too. I'm upset for the same reasons but different.
Okay.
In a weird way. Because you're right, because I feel like it was sort of a cash grab. The last one felt very heartfelt. It felt like Jason was stepping up, wanted to do it, connect, and sort of a connection to the franchise that his dad started. They did it for Harold, then with his father passing away. It just felt like a really beautiful love letter to everyone.
Yeah.
I didn't need the firehouse any more than they gave me in that one. I didn't need anything more than everything they gave me. I loved everything about that. I thought it was beautifully done. Just truly fantastic. And a great follow-up. I didn't mind that they used Shandor and Gozer and all of them, and just kind of tied that all together.
Right.
Bringing this back, I didn't mind that they were going to open it back up. I didn't mind that they were starting sort of a ghost core, like an engineering, ghost engineering group, to kind of, because that makes sense.
Right.
You're the Ghostbusters. Why wouldn't you start something where you were actually really researching this stuff? You're all scientists. First of all, it did kind of annoy me that it did kind of annoy me that Winston didn't bring the two scientists on with him. He called Peter in later to help him with one certain thing. He had the little. I don't want to call her a little girl. I guess she was 18 or 19 by this point, but I'm thinking of her as a child in the first one. Sorry. So in Afterlife. So when I say little girl, I mean little girl from the last one. But she is an adult now. So from the young woman, and that's who's interning in this. Yeah. And I guess he's a scientist, but he looks like he's 23.
Yeah, if that.
If that. And they're the only two that worked there besides a botanist who was there for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So like it was just like sort of all over the place. Like I feel like the Ghostbusters would have scientists that are chomping at the bit to study ghosts.
Right.
But anyway, whatever. Like I don't want to get too deep into it. So like I feel like this could have been done really well. It just wasn't. Like I feel like it was like done cartoonishly, which I was fine with, but then it was like taking it in a serious way in other ways, and then like it was just what it felt like to me was Thor Love and Thunder.
Yes. Yeah.
I loved Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was the right amount of like serious and silly. And then you get to Thor Love and Thunder, and then it's like too much silly.
Yes.
Not enough of anything else. To me, this was too much over the top. Not silliness, just too much over the top. You went way too much over the top with every scene, trying to tell everyone's tale, trying to go into everything. You have a cool lore. You're building something new. I dug the stop motion of the practical effects of the villain. I liked the look. I thought it was very cool. I liked the lore you were building. I was in for a lot of it. So it just bugged me that you got to a point where like everything was over the top. You were right. You didn't broaden it to New York like they did in the first one. And there's so much more money behind it. Like, and you can't you're not going to visit like the corpse driving the cab at least. Like you're not going to like Slimer's not going to be in another freaking hot dog vendor. Like, like, whatever. Like,
you saw a spirit fly by the Statue of Liberty, and I was like, I swear to God, if this fucking thing doesn't possess Statue of Liberty again, like I'm done. And then it didn't. And I was like, I'm fucking done. Like,
and it's
right next.
And I didn't mind. Like, I didn't need more of the Ghostbusters. I liked as much of well, maybe there's just too much of them in this one. Like, I think maybe as much as there was in Afterlife was fine by me.
Yeah.
Focus on the family more. I didn't need the ghosts girl.
No,
I didn't need that whole thing with Phoebe. She's too smart for that. Like she should have had this whole thing wrapped up, no problem. Like she was the smartest one figuring everything out in Afterlife, and you made her sort of dumb in this.
And I say this not in a negative way, everybody, but I thought we were going to go kind of a woke way where Phoebe was just going to end up being into females, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I thought that's what we were hinting at the whole time. And then it was like, oh, well, you built this really weird to not have it go that way, but okay.
Yeah. And who cares? Like, I mean, even if that's what you were going, like her finding her identity or whatever, but like, fine. But like, even the way you're going over the top with everything, like it's just too much. Like you didn't even focus on Phoebe enough.
No.
Like her story was fine. Like that's a story I'm fine to follow, but you didn't focus on her. like it was just, it was too much. So our ratings for this, I think we're both the same on it. We gave it a 2.5, and I think I'm going to tell you I gave it that half because of Ghostbusters. And to disagree with you, Paul Rudd and Carrie Coon saved this for me because every one of their interactions was really fun. They were really fun together. I liked them. Finn Wolfhard was a complete and utter buzzkill in this. I did not like him in this. I thought
Stranger Kids.
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
I don't blame him for that. They did not know how to use him in this.
No.
I mean, granted, they didn't know how to use him greatly in the first one, but they used him a lot better.
Yeah.
This one, it was just kind of like, fuck. Like, ugh.
Well, even the scenes they gave him, they made it seem like they were like, oh, fuck, we haven't used him yet. Let's do a scene with him doing this. And here's him doing this, I guess. It was like, oh, fuck.
I would have preferred just a movie with the Spanglers, because I will tell you honestly, the idea of them as a family unit and whenever they did that was more fun as a dynamic than anything else. I had fun with that. That was a good time. Everything else, I was like, I don't care. So whatever. Let's move on to a movie I actually liked.
Hey, it's good. You were going to scare me because I was like, oh shit, did I like Roadhouse and you hated it?
No, actually, Roadhouse. So I'm a big fan of the original Roadhouse because of exactly for what it is.
Yeah.
This movie is not that.
No, this one was different than the original. Yes.
No. So many people don't understand this movie, and I fucking love it. Everybody thinks this movie is exactly what the original was, but just with more of a woke message, and it's not. And I love it. Doug Liman is a goddamn genius, and I love what this movie is. And it just drives me nuts. So many people are like, it's this. And it's just like, watch the movie. I've watched this movie 3 times now.
Okay.
It came out last Thursday, and I watched it 3 times because I'm getting my notes together for this review.
Oh, God.
So go ahead, sir. I want to hear what you think.
I enjoyed everything about the movie except for the CGI, which was absolute trash. It looked like someone did it on a Windows 98 computer. The CGI was just garbage. And I feel like we could have just gone without some of those scenes because it was really fucking bad. Everything else I enjoyed. I mean, yeah, those scenes were rough, Mick.
Which
like,
CGI?
The car flying, or spoilers. The boat going
the car
through,
driving at him real fast. No, in fact, no spoilers. I'm telling people that straight out there, because that deserved like a trigger warning, because that does like they do. It's I don't think it's CGI. I feel like they ramped up. It is CGI. You're right, but it is actually a motion. It is a real motion. So just so everybody knows, there is like a sort of a trigger trauma effect. The car does come too close to the camera. It does drive too fast at the camera. It can trigger people. So I do want to, that's a spoiler I am going to point out to people, because there are people who are talking about this triggering though.
Okay.
And from car accidents, things like that, because it does hit the camera. So yeah, and my wife brought that up because it like hit her too. And then I was seeing on TikTok and stuff other people talking about. I was like, yeah, there should be like a trigger warning effect for this, because that is a pretty heavy effect.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't that portion of it did not care for. Everything else was great. If they had added anything to it, I would have loved to see them bring in a new, if not the original, just bring Sam Elliott back. That's the only thing that I was, because I loved Sam Elliott in the first one. It's just me enjoying the first one. I was like, it would have been cool to have him, call someone, be like, shit's going down. Then the awesome old man, Sam Elliott, comes out and just helps him out. Like, I just thought that it just would have been cool. Just because I loved it in the first one.
The whole point of this movie. See, you didn't get it. You get it. And I'm not picking on you for that. This whole point of this movie is to break down, it's destroying the original, which is a love letter to the American Western.
Okay.
This whole point of this movie is to say that none of the characters that are at play that use violence work in today's society. That's the whole point of this movie. Dalton doesn't work in today's society. He's trying his best to work in today's society. He still doesn't. He's suffering because he's not the same Dalton as he in 1989, who's wearing flashy clothes and he's playing it cool and he's just being nice. Just being nice. You just got to be no. He tries to kill himself in the beginning of this movie.
Right.
So like he's a guy who's just ready to go at any moment, but he doesn't want to hurt people. He is literally exactly contained. He is controlled chaos at the moment, and it is volatile at best. He is exactly the same as Knox, who is Conor McGregor.
Right. Who did beautiful, by the way. I love McGregor as a villain. He's a fucking awesome villain.
Amazing villain in this. But like, that's the thing. Like, Dalton is famous, right? Dalton is famous for being a monster. Nobody knows who the hell Knox is. Everyone's always walking up to Knox. Who the hell are you? What do you want? Like, who are you? Like, the one guy who like loudly announces, pronounces everything, the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he acts, everything. He crashes into things when he wants to stop cars.
Yeah.
And like
he stole the driver's ed car.
The whole thing. No, like, but even when he drove the Lamborghini, he crashed it into their bikes.
100%.
Then he crashed he crashes the boat, and then he crashes the truck. Like he just crashes shit until that's how he stops things. Like he's just pure chaos.
Yeah.
And that's why I love this face when you get to the end and Dalton turns into the raging monster that he is, and and Knox sees him for what he is, and it's just the horrified look on his face. Just like, oh my God, like I'm not the same as you.
Right.
You're so much worse than I am.
Right.
Like I love that. But like even Frankie and Brandt, like they're two keys. Like everybody who's using violence, every single person who uses violence as a means to get what they want in this, nothing is working. None of them are working. Everybody, like nobody works in the society. No, the community cannot accept any of them. And I love that message of this whole thing. Stop saying You just said that you didn't get that part.
I just took it as a movie. I don't know.
It was I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that message of it. Like, and I love the visual style of it. Like, I love that but once you get that as the theme and you get the idea of why they don't play up the real estate deal, because it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter why Frankie wants him there. Like, she's just trying to hold out longer than Brant. She has no idea why Brant wants to stop. So she's just looking for the toughest fucking guy to stop them, because that's all she knows. Everyone is just trying to use violence to stop everything, you know, like that's it. Everyone is just trying to use violence except for Dalton until he's pushed. And once he pushes it, he ends it all.
Yeah. Wraps it all up.
And then he can't be a part of the community. That's it. You're gone. You got to leave.
Sense.
So like, it's the American Western. And that's why she says to him, you may not be the hero, but you're also not the villain. You have no place here. None of you. You're not the heroes. You're not the villains. You have no place here. We don't want you here. You can't be a part of our community. That's today's society. Sorry, politicians who act this way. Sorry, people who act this way. Sorry, people who shoot now and, you know, ask questions later. Like, none of you work with us anymore. This doesn't work in a technology age. This doesn't work in our world in a social media age. This doesn't work in a knowledge age. So that's what they're basically saying with Roadhouse now, is like, your ways don't work anymore. Your violence doesn't work anymore. And the one guy who's trying to stop it has a ton of problems. All of these violent people had mental health issues. Yeah. So like, it was a cool message to see. Now, on top of that, you know, we could both talk to this. Like, I think that adds the flavor to why we got everything we got in terms of like the awesome in your face fighting.
Yeah.
I love the camera work to it. I thought like when they would switch to like the GoPros and you would see that in your face fighting, like I thought that really added that intense feel of like like being in the octagon, because then it would cut to like, you know, like the chicken wire, seeing through there, and it's like it just like they did a really good job playing this out. It's a really well told, simple story too.
Yes, it was. I'm just thinking of all the scenes now that I enjoyed. Just thinking of that dude just playing in the band, just kept playing the whole fucking time. The whole
time he's just shaking the things. The whole time. The whole fight. What are some of your favorite scenes in the movie? Go before we wrap this up.
Oh, I'd probably say the last fight with Dalton and Knox. I enjoyed Knox opener when you see him in that town. I think that sets the tone for who he is at the beginning. What's another good one? I kind of liked how you saw where Jake Gyllenhaal's mentality was when he gets stabbed in the beginning.
Yeah, he's like, "You want your knife back?"
Yeah. He's like, "Oh shit," and just
dude.
Oh shit.
But that, I mean, it just goes to show you like the pain is gone now. Like, it's just like he's so far beyond it all. But like, dude. Knox, first of all, my favorite character. Dude, when he rolls in and he go and the big dude, who's the big henchman who's part of it, and he's just like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" And he goes, "Shh." He just shushes him and then eats their sandwiches. Yeah. Oh my god. And he's like, first off
his plate.
Off his plate, he's like, first off, I'm gonna need more than 3 sandwiches. He killed it in this role. He did a great job. And Jake Gyllenhaal, everybody did just a fantastic job in this role. I like Billy Magnuson as Brandon too. He did a great job. But the one-liners, the puns, when he gets in that boat and he's like, my favorite is when he's like, "We gotta own the octagon. Who taught you shapes?" And he just knocks him off the boat. But there's one my wife pointed out when he's banging his head on the piano, and he's just like, "This piano is really out of tune," and he goes, "Sounds good to me." It's so out of place. It doesn't work. So
I mean, sometimes you say silly shit when you're really angry and hyped up. I don't know.
Just they're getting along really well in that one. But people are gonna get annoyed with my rating for this, but I really dug the layers of this one. And there's no plot holes. It's contained. They do a great job with it. 4 out of 5.
I don't think that's bad.
And you gave it a 3 out of 5. I don't think that's bad either. Just good ratings. I think this movie deserves it.
Yeah, I'd recommend watching it. I think it'd be good.
Yeah, great movie. I listen, if you are asking me which one I think you should go see, Roadhouse. Anyway, mixed movie pick from 1996. That's right. I'm going with 1996's Citizen Ruth. Very good film starring Laura Dern. Laura Dern in the movie plays Ruth, who is a very much a she's a terrible person at the beginning of the movie. Like, she's a terrible mother to her kids. She's a drug addict. She deals with a lot of demons. But like, she's very selfish in her ways and how she deals with things, and she does. She acts in a very terrible manner towards her family and people that care about her. And then she gets pregnant, and through her pregnancy, a lot of turmoil and media attention comes into play. And a lot of this deals with the debate over abortion, pro-choice, pro-life, and it also gives people a lot to think about in terms of women's rights to choose over their body. What abortion looks like from the view of a woman. What just the idea of what family looks like in America today and things like that. There's a lot of themes in here. It's a very good movie. It is a comedy, but there's a lot of good questions and ideas that I think people should check out. I think it's a good movie for that. So this is my recommendation for this week. I think you guys should go check that out. That's mine for this week's episode. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining in. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining in for all the topics, hanging out. I think 3 was too many. Maybe next week I'll go with 2. But I do want to thank this week's sponsor, Shopify. Thank you guys so much. You guys are an awesome sponsor. We have some new sponsors joining up next week too, and we'll get to those, but the link is down below. You get a free trial and your first month for $1. Start your online business from beginning to end. They will help you set it all up and get you going. So start your online e-commerce business, and they will help you do it all the way. Shopify is an awesome business for that. Go check them out now. That's right. And guys, we have our Patreon available. Tons of stuff available, perks available. And if you join up, we also have time available. So if you're looking for maybe filmmaking advice, maybe social media marketing, SEO work, podcasting, any type of work, like you want to sit down with me, I have consulting hours that I offer through Patreon. Consulting time, and depending on the tier, you can sit down with me once a month, and we'll sit down and you can ask me any questions you want. I'll show you how to do things, whatever. We'll do it over in video, Skype and stuff like that. So guys, that's available. Go check it out and join up on our Patreon. I want to thank you guys for being a part of it. Paul, thank you so much for joining in and being a part of this tonight. You are the man. Of course, buddy. And thank you all for joining in. You guys are all great.